Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage. Happy New Year to all of you. And in this video, we're going to look at the 7 reasons why you could fail in 2021 and importantly, how to avoid each problem and finally get the score you deserve. I do this at the beginning of every year. I look back at the previous year and look at the most common reasons why students fail the test. And this is not to scare you or tell you that you're definitely going to fail or anything like that. It's really important that you understand where you could fail, what those common reasons for failure are, and then you can avoid them and get the score that you deserve in the future. So what I'm going to do is go through the 7 key reasons. I'll first tell you the uncomfortable truth. Many of you will not like many of these reasons because many of you will be doing them already and they might feel a little bit uncomfortable for you. My philosophy is to tell the student where they might go wrong so that they can be successful. So it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but I think it's important that you understand the truth. I'll then explain why it will lead to failure because many of you will be doing these things already and I want to explain why it is not a good idea. And then finally show you how to avoid each of them and succeed in the future. So, reason number 1, booking the test as soon as the test centers reopen or your destination opens up. So 2020 was quite an unusual year. Many of the test centers closed down. Many of your destination countries have closed their borders. And in 2021, hopefully, many of those borders will start to open up. Many of the test centers will open up. Most of them have opened up already. What we have seen in 2020 is that students waiting for test centers and destinations to open up and using that as the trigger for going and doing the test, and that is leading to failure. Why? These dates have nothing to do with your IELTS score. These are just dates when the test center will reopen. They have nothing to do with your writing ability, your speaking, your listening, your reading. So what should you do instead? Instead, don't book the test until you're ready to get the score that you need. We did a massive study of thousands of students trying to establish the number 1 reason why students fail the IELTS test. And the number 1, like 95% or more, were students who booked the test and just did the test before they were ready. What you should do instead is get to the level you need to get to, focus on getting to that score that you need, and then once you are at that level, then book the test. That will take you a little bit longer in the short term, but it will save you a huge amount of time, a huge amount of money, and a huge amount of stress in the long term. Reason number 2, practice does not make perfect. Again, in 2020, many of us were locked in our homes, and many IELTS students who I spoke to said, this is great because I can just do lots of listening and reading and speaking and writing practice, and then once everything opens up again, I will be able to get the score that I need. This is not necessarily true, because practicing bad habits makes your weaknesses stronger and your strengths weaker. The example I always use is I had a friend when I was younger who lived on a farm and his father bought him a car when he was like 14 or 15. So he was constantly practicing his driving. He was driving around this big farm in his car. And the rest of us didn't start practicing driving until we were 17. And nearly all of us passed the test, except the guy who constantly drove his car. He had hundreds of times more practice than us, but he had very, very bad habits. And it took him much longer to get the driving test. And this is the exact same thing that happens with students. The number of students who email us on a daily basis saying, I've done every single practice test in the entire world and my score still remains the same. I can't improve. That's because practice does not make perfect. First of all, you need to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? In order to understand those, you're probably going to need an IELTS expert to look at your work and work together with you. Then you should just focus on your weakest areas. That is the most strategic, time-efficient way to improve, because most of you who are failing to get the score that you need You don't need to improve everything. For most students, there are just 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 things that they need to improve. If you focus on those, then you'll get the score that you need. And you get this by getting feedback from an expert, a real IELTS expert who used to be an examiner or is currently an examiner. Reason number 3, not understanding the true purpose of the IELTS test. What are they actually testing? It's worthwhile just pausing this video, thinking about this, maybe put it in the comments. What are they actually testing? What is the purpose of the IELTS test? Well, they're testing clear communication in English. Think about it. If you are a nurse, what do they want to know? They want to know if you're a nurse or a doctor or a dentist, when you are speaking to patients, when you move to Canada or the UK, will they be able to understand you and will you be able to understand them? If you are a software developer or a lawyer or any profession, they want to know when you move to that English-speaking country, will you be able to clearly communicate and understand your colleagues? And when you are going about your day-to-day life, will you be able to do the same? Why is this important? Because they are not testing your ability to show off fancy vocabulary, fancy grammar, and fancy structures, because those things actually lower communication. So if you believe the purpose of the IELTS test is to memorize lots of fancy vocabulary, grammar, and structures and just regurgitate it onto the page or in the speaking test, then you are probably not going to do as well as you could if you just focused on clear communication. That means not using fancy vocabulary, grammar, and structures. It means understanding the English language and how you can use it to clearly communicate in English. Reason number 4, believing the IELTS test is a memorization test. This is similar to reason number 3. It is a test of clear communication in English. Learn how to clearly communicate in English by using English, not memorizing it. If you go to a school where they are teaching you lists of words or lists of structures or getting you to memorize phrases and structures and things like that, they are teaching you memorization. They are not teaching you how to communicate in English. What are they testing? They are testing your ability to communicate clearly in English, not memorize a bunch of words. So understand the true purpose of the test and do not memorize stuff. Learn everything properly. Again, that is going to take a little bit more effort in the short term, but will actually save you a huge amount of time and stress in the long term. Reason number 5, doing a cheap crash course. There are so many cheap crash courses out there that are like $10, $20, $30, extremely cheap crash courses. And to be honest, most free courses are better than these cheap crash courses. Crash courses are quick and they're easy. They're cheap, quick, and easy. That's why lots of people are interested in them. But does quick and easy normally lead to real improvement? Can you go and do a crash course in the quick and easy way to make lots of money? No. If you are doing one of those courses, the only people making money are the people who are selling you that crash course. Can you do a quick and easy crash course on how to lose weight, or how to become stronger, or how to become more productive, or a better father, or a better parent? All of these things require the opposite to what crash courses provide. And it's important that you don't take this lightly, because this test is going to determine your future. Many of you might be listening to this video and going like, he sounds very, very serious. Yes, because we understand that the test will determine your future. It will determine which job you do in the future, how much money you will make, which country you live in, the safety and security and happiness of you and your family. That is a very, very important thing. So crash courses do not offer you the things that actually matter, like feedback. How are you going to know whether you are doing the right thing or not? Or accountability, or guidance. Crash courses don't offer this. So they might sound very attractive and cheap, but is it worth gambling your future? Think about how much that future job in the future country is worth to you. Is it worth gambling that by only spending 10 or 20 or $30 or whatever these crash courses are charging these days. To be honest, our free courses, you'll get more value out of those, and I'll show you how to find our free courses at the end of this video. Reason number 6, something called paralysis by analysis. So what would you say to someone who wanted to go to the gym and get fit but had all of these questions? So imagine your friend or your brother or your sister is saying, I want to go to the gym and get fit, but which gym should I use? What clothes should I wear? Should I wear Adidas or Nike or Reebok? Which shoes should I wear? How many hours should I exercise per week? Should I do it 3 days a week or 2 days a week or 5 days a week for half an hour a day or an hour a day? And which exercises should I do? Should I do weights? Should I do aerobic? Should I do this? Should I do that? This is what we call paralysis by analysis. People taking no action whatsoever because they have so many questions, and the questions mean nothing. So examples in the IELTS test should be, should I do the computer-based test or the paper-based test? It doesn't matter. Should I use a pen or a pencil? It doesn't matter. Should I use IDP or the British Council? It doesn't matter. And there are hundreds of questions like this. The questions that do matter are things like, what level am I currently at? What score would I get if I did the test today? Why am I at that score? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? And what exactly do I need to do in order to move from the score I'm at right now to the score that I need? Those are very important questions, and those are questions that require action. Once you have that information, you have to do the work. But if you just continue to ask all of these meaningless questions, then you can sit there for the next year and do what you did in 2020, which is do nothing because you're sitting there considering all these meaningless questions. And the final reason, watching YouTube videos. I understand that this is a YouTube video and you're watching it on YouTube, but I want you to answer this question. Why do people create videos on YouTube? To get views. That's the only reason why somebody creates a video on YouTube. So it's important that you understand the types of videos within the IELTS industry that get lots of views. The most helpful videos are usually the videos that get very few views. Which videos get the most views? Tips, tricks, hacks, and shortcuts. You can go online right now, or you probably are online right now, and just go and look at the most popular YouTube videos. There are things like learn these 7 secrets, or learn these 4 words to guarantee a band 9, or learn this one trick. So these are just designed to get views. They are not designed to actually help you. And YouTube can become very addictive. And what we've seen in 2020 is because people are sitting at home, we have people emailing us saying that they have been studying IELTS for 8 hours a day. It's like, really? 8 hours a day? That's amazing. Yeah, I watch all the YouTube videos. That is not studying. I can watch videos of Messi and Ronaldo playing football all day, every day on TV. It's not going to help me improve my football in any way. In order to improve something, you need to take action, not just passively receive information. So stop looking for shortcuts and do the things that will actually help you improve your score. Again, those are things like understanding your current level, why are you at that level, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and what do you need to do to turn those weaknesses into strengths. So if you go to our website, IELTSadvantage.com, you'll find a range of free courses that will cost you absolutely nothing. This is our fundamentals course that has helped thousands of people get the scores that they need. You'll also find our success stories, and in many of these success stories, they will tell you how they avoided those 7 things and how they were able to improve. We've also got our writing correction service, our VIP course, and you'll also find links to our YouTube channel, our Instagram, and our Facebook. Go and check those out and you'll get lots and lots of free information. Most of our courses are free, and you can also go up here and you'll find all of our writing task 1, task 2, speaking, reading. Click on any of these and it will take you to all of our free resources. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you avoid those problems in 2021 and you're able to become successful in the future. If you need anything, feel free to get in touch. Thanks.